All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game between Blade and Focus taking place here on Last Refuge. Well, Blade spawning as the blue human player over here on the bottom left-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Focus has spawned as the yellow orc over here on the top right. This is human versus orc in the 1v1, and I am just really looking forward to the upcoming patch notes, see what's going to be happening here today, and how the meta is really going to change. It really feels like well, Blizzard is trying to change up the meta after a lot of development, and that's actually what I wanted to see. If you guys remember back in the day, StarCraft 2, or excuse me, StarCraft 1, the original, there was a very stable patch for a relatively long amount of time. Strategies were fleshed out, and units and counter units and counter strategies were all developed until the game got to, well, a pretty reasonable place. Some overpowered units, some strategies that you felt users had to go. But then again, it didn't really feel too bad. And then they tweaked it enough to where more strategies became viable. I think that is going to be the case here with WarCraft 3, as we are looking most likely Farseer coming in from Focus. We all want to see more than one meta strategy. Yeah, we all definitely want to see more than one meta strategy. And as you take a look at it, well, Orc going for Farseer is not the main meta strategy, and we'll see whether or not human players will actually move away from that Archmage first. Archmage first is true about 90% of the time, not because the Archmage is particularly overpowered, but it is such a good complementary hero for any sort of caster strategy. And when you're going up against orcs, well, going for a caster strategy does make a lot of sense. What doesn't make sense to me, though, is how human players often go for the Archmage going up against Undead, where the Undead player is most likely going to be going for Destroyers, but it feels like, well, anti-air then becomes difficult, and mass teleport is also one of the more game-changing abilities later on. Mobility, a very high portion of any battle. If you are always at the right place at the right time, you will win 90% of your fights. All right, let's go ahead and continue to move around. Well, probably 100% of your fights, but no one can be exactly at the right place, exactly at the right time every time, as we are now looking, well, at the Feral Spirit Wolves trying to fight back against these Militia. Militia are going to get taken down here. You can see the Arcane Tower has not yet been upgraded here, as these, well, Spirit Wolves may get taken down. Meanwhile, back on the other side, the Archmage knows, you know what? If the Farseer is putting pressure with those Spirit Wolves, he cannot summon additional summons. That means I will be able to have additional time to try and fight back here. But this is not going to bode well at all. There goes one footman down. You can see a lot of repairs getting underway. Another footman off over here, and that footman is taking a lot of damage. Focus is going to get in a tremendous amount of damage over here. He's going to unburrow in time. Yes, he does. Beautiful micro by Focus, unburrowing those burrows to make sure the burrows did not get the final shot off, enabling that Farseer to get that experience. Farseer gets a bunch of kills already, also got some peasant kills, as you see the death of those peasants there. Meanwhile, Farseer also higher on mana, which is incredibly important. But then again, we all know what's going to be coming just around the corner. Well, level 2 on that Archmage, and what does that mean? It means that you are going to have Brilliance Aura, which is incredibly powerful, as the Spirit Wolf, needs one more shot there. The Footman now down to 2 hit points. The Spirit Wolf trying to chase. Movement speed fast versus normal, and down it goes. Meanwhile, back at the other side, Farseer does get to level 2, could easily get some extra damage on a fleeing Archmage, and that's a little bit of the downside. Well, I guess the upside for the Farseer, as the Archmage, as it runs away, the Farseer can stutter step itself to try and get some additional damage there, and that's exactly what you saw. It was closing in on that distance, got some shots off, and even as the Farseer was trying to run away, it could not dodge that, I guess, lightning rod of that Farseer. All right, Farseer resummons those Spirit Wolves, but not going to be able to do very much. Back at the other end, well, you see the Water Elementals, or one Water Elemental, trying to put pressure onto this Orc Burrow here. All right, are my game sounds just not working at all? Hold on a second. Okay, it sounds like everything's just a little bit lower than I would like it. Hold on, does that fix it? Return to game. All right, I don't know what's going on there with my game sounds. Anyways, Archmage not coming back. Hello to Nepal. Finally get to watch me live. Yeah, I don't know. Isn't it really early there? As the barracks, excuse me, the bestiary gets shut down. Farseer now making their way back around. My apologies for any of the game audio. This is not the NetEase client. This is actually the official WarCraft 3 client, and because of that, my game balance and the audio is a little bit off, not getting that full game sound right there. All right, Water Elemental doing a little bit of a dance back and forth. Are we going to see another unburrow right there? And it looks as though, yep, there it goes. As all of those peons did unburrow just in time. Meanwhile, the grunts are now looking back again. Used to have that 10 minutes kitchen timer. Yep, I do remember that kitchen timer. Oh my gosh, that was like 8 years ago. Back when YouTube would only allow 10-minute videos. So I would have a Pyrex timer sitting next to me and go off at the 9-minute mark just to warn me that I needed to wrap things up. And wow, just go back how things have changed over the years. You know, coming up the ranks in casting, and then, well, watching WarCraft 3 get ignored for a little bit until StarCraft 2 just didn't become as popular as I believe Blizzard wanted it to become. Anyways, Tauren Chieftain Farseer is currently out on the field. We are going to be looking at most likely a chain wave strategy. And with chain wave, it actually shuts down a lot of caster strategies, mainly the priests and the sorceresses, but then spell breakers become a problem. We don't see an arcane vault as of yet. I do have to believe Blade is going to be going for spell breakers, knowing that chain lightning and shockwave are all in the works. Tauren Chieftain, is it going to go for stomp, or what is it going to go for? You can see raiders now coming out. Are we going to be looking at a big ensnare or two? Not quite yet, as the Tauren Chieftain wants to get to level 2, going after this creep camp here. Meanwhile, back down to the south, Blade is going after this rock golem creep camp. Should be able to clear it. Will not get to level 2 on the Beastmaster, nor will he get to level 3 on that Blade Master, as there's just far too much experience to try and gain. Beastmaster looking to just continue all of that work right there, and it really feels like there is no game audio. Let me... I swear I kind of hear it. Okay, apparently I'm also getting my... Alright, that is really weird. I'm not quite sure what is going on with my audio here at all. Archmage now going to go ahead and engage. Coming back across the Nightcrawlers here, you can take a look. Blade, Beastmaster trying to absorb some of that damage. One of the first casters I've ever watched. Yeah, thank you. As the Beastmaster should get to level 2 here. Archmage will be just shy of level 3. Meanwhile, the Farseer is strongly at 2. Tauren Chieftain is at 2 with a potion of greater mana. And you also see Spirit Walkers joining in. Spirit Walkers are still being trained from that Spirit Lodge, at least for now. This is patch 1.29, not 1.30. Now music is too high. All right, I don't hear any music whatsoever. So that is actually really strange. I actually don't hear any game sounds at all, unless there's something wrong with my speakers. Yeah, I hear nothing at all. This is really, really strange. I'll have to go ahead and check on that in just a bit. You can take a look. A low hit point grunt still joining in on the fight here. 2 of them. Perhaps they should be actually microed back out, as the Tauren Chieftain and the Farseer are still wandering around. Thank you, Norman25, for letting me know the game sounds are a little bit off. I just installed a new version of Skype, and, well, anytime I install anything that has anything to do with my speakers, Pog Champ caught the Crota stream. All right. Anyways, let's go ahead and getting a little bit distracted, just trying to fix all the technical issues. Yeah, Skype may have undone all of my careful tuning of all of my game audio. So that is a major bother, as we're taking a look at a Quillbeast getting taken down here. All right, getting back into the game. We are only sitting at Stronghold. We are not going into Tier 3. Meanwhile, we are staying at Keep, going into an Arcane Vault, but we're already at 48 supply. that means that a number of footmen and other units need to get taken down before we're actually going to be looking at a large number of spellbreakers. By that time, the tipping point may be reached, and Blade may not have enough units to fight back this onslaught. Let's take a look at this. Tauren Chieftain still has a good amount there. There's another big shockwave, and a whole bunch of militia join in on the fight, only to realize, hey, I want nothing to do with that particular fight right there. Farseer sitting at level 2. We could be looking at a Scroll of the Beast right now as well. Where are all the units going? There is a slow now being thrown down, as the Tauren Chieftain still has a good amount of mana and still trying to get a little bit more. Peons joining in on the fight here. Beastmaster joining in. Thanks for stopping on by, as the low hit point Grunt now trying to head to the back. Tauren Chieftain waiting for that mana to come back in slowly but surely. As you can see, Roar now being used. No Dispel Magic being used as of yet. Farseer sitting at level 2, not yet at level 3 by definition of level 2. As we take a look, as the Water Mantle is up on the high ground, getting in some of that damage. Kodo Beast being joined in from the backside here, and the Kodo Beast is going to add additional damage as well. Tauren Chieftain does have enough mana for a big shockwave and or a follow-up shockwaves because of that potion of greater mana. Let's take a look at this. Units are trying to back up. All of that back line is staying as far away as it possibly can, as we're looking at the Kodo Beast looking perhaps trying to go ahead and eat some units. Why isn't Uptime working? I have no idea. Tauren Chieftain in that front line. Scroll of Healing should be used. Spirit Link is being used as well. Let's take a look. Spirit Link trying to keep that Tauren Chieftain alive. Tauren Chieftain still has a potion of greater mana. Could throw that down in just a moment. Farseer sitting at level 2. There's another shockwave as the Farseer now gets to level 3. Another Chain Lightning could be coming across, and that could be a very big deal here. Tauren Chieftain still has enough mana for another shockwave, so another Chain Lightning could be coming across there. There it goes, as a Peasant does get taken down, but the Spellbreakers are starting to add back in, making it difficult to win out on this fight. Kodo Beast wants to eat a Spellbreaker and gets his tasty tongue on right there, as the units are now looking to back up again. All right, let's take a look at this. 42 supply going up against 48. Spellbreakers being added in, and that is the problem right now. The Spellbreakers immune to the chain wave strategy, as Focus smartly, well, correctly decides to head back home to figure out what that follow-up strategy is going to be. Now, Tauren Chieftain would perhaps be the proper, well, at least proper unit to counter those Spellbreakers. I believe Pulverize still counts as normal damage, and if Pulverize counts as normal damage still, when those Tauren Chieftain, well, hit the ground, so to speak, they are going to be really taking down all of those units. A mass number of Spirit Walkers is currently out on the field, and if I was Blade, I would go ahead and use a Tome of Retraining, get Blizzard instead, and by getting Blizzard, know that all of a sudden those Spirit Walkers will always have to be on the move. Crota, if you play War 3, what is your main race? Or my main race back when I was competitively or semi-competitively playing was human. I got up to the top 50 on US West. So that's the race that I play. My human bias does show, as that is the race that I, well, got to see the most. Back across over here, Overlord gonna get taken down. Archmage and Beastmaster both gonna level up. Archmage getting up to level 4 with that level 2 Brilliance Aura, going to greatly offset everything right there. I believe it's 1.5 mana a second, and even when you are thinking about tier or after the patch, 1.25 mana a second is still incredibly powerful. As we're going to take a look, well, Legion of Doomhorn. Faster movement speed for the Tauren Chieftain. Farseer seen at level 3. I don't know what ability, perhaps more Spirit Wolves could be added in as well, as the Forest Troll Berserkers are going to get taken down. And what you can take a look, that magic damage just not doing that much to the Forest Troll High Priest or the or those units. Nerf human comments in 3, 2. Yeah. All right, let's take a look at what the follow-up play is next. Beastmaster going to be getting to level 4 without much of an issue. We are taking a look at the Archmage now making its way back around. Claws of Attack plus 12, a very powerful item indeed, as the Archmage is going to be dealing some significant damage right there. Endurance plus Unholy Aura, yeah, very fast movement speed all the way across. I believe that's a 30% movement speed increase. There's a Shockwave not hitting very much, and there is the Blizzard that we mentioned. A quick ensnare onto the Archmage, as another Blizzard should be raining down here in just a second. Raiders are going to go ahead and get focused down here, as the Spellbreakers are pretty much going to run run amok. All of these units, all of the Spirit Walkers going to try to go after all of the casters, and if the Spellbreakers have nothing to support as the Spirit Walkers are going after the other casters, well, that is actually the perfect counter strategy. However, 5 Spellbreakers still causing a lot of mayhem for Focus's army, as this is still a lot of problems indeed. Stronghold, still seeing that Stronghold. Tauren Chieftain, now with the Clarity Potion, trying to get more mana, but still not going to get very far. Farseer getting up a little bit more mana as well. But this is the issue. The Spellbreakers with the, well, not going to get, or very, very difficult to be fought back against. Perhaps more Kodo Beasts would be the correct call if you can just start eating up some of those Spellbreakers. That front line disappears rather quickly. All right, Scroll Speed now being used. Invisibility onto the Archmage. Archmage, what is going to happen? There's a Shockwave. There's Blizzard raining down. As you can take a look, the Archmage is in trouble. Gets ensnared. Scroll of Town Portal already inbound as the Farseer gets taken down. All right, a little bit of a chase onto the Archmage, only to see your Farseer getting taken out right there. Tauren Chieftain with this opportunity will get to level 5. You can see how fast that Tauren Chieftain is booking it. Heading all the way over to the shop, hiring up the Farseer. A level 5 Tauren Chieftain now making its way back, and that Tauren Chieftain moving around the map extremely quickly, even without boots of speed. Most likely going to be trying to pick up some Clarity Potions, and Focus needs a way to recover. Hi, Gary. How are you doing? Well, thank you, all 10 of you guys who are currently watching. Thank you for the subscriptions. Thank you for the bits. It all does definitely help. Finally got paid by Twitch not too long ago, and you know, covering enough expenses for a month through Twitch once in a while does bring a smile to my face. 533 Creep Camp should be easily cleared help, but, well, it actually might give level 5 to not only the Actually, no, it will not give level 5 to the Archmage and the Beastmaster. It needs a little bit more experience right there. There's that Blizzard, and somehow, I don't know how, but Blade must have somewhere into a 65 to 70 supply army, and that Spellbreaker army is just a problematic. You can take a look across over here. Potion of Invulnerability now raining down Blizzard across so many of these units. There's Shockwave trying to go across some units. Scroll of Healing counteracting there. Farseer does not have enough mana for a Chain Lightning. No Clarity Potion here as Focus is in trouble. Is the Spirit, or is the Tauren Chieftain? Yes, gets a Shockwave and gets down the Archmage. Archmage hides behind his Spellbreakers, but, well, it might have actually been better if the Spellbreakers took some of that Shockwave damage to offset some of that loss. Now the Feral Spirit Wolves are going to get taken out very quickly. Farseer was hoping those Spirit Wolves could eat away at some of those Spellbreakers, but no such luck. Kodo Beast should be eating up some of those Spellbreakers indeed. What is going on here? Raider trying to finish off a unit, unable to do so. All right, Kodo Beast going after some units there. And now perhaps going to finish off one of those Spirit Walkers. A lot of low hit point units on both sides. Let's take a look. 41 over 70 compared to 37 over 66. How is there so many Spellbreakers with a 37 supply? That makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. Archmage, Spellbreakers, is there... There's no workers. There's 2 workers on lumber, and that is it. And human players normally have an expansion at this stage in the game, so the fact that there is no expansion may be the reason why it looks like the human army is just so large. Peons now making their way down. Focus is going for the expansion here. Is he going to get the economic advantage that he needs? He has a larger supply as the Spirit Wolves are currently invisible and actually running interference onto some of these units. That could be a big deal indeed, as Quill Beast's going to get taken down. Tauren Chieftain does have a Potion of Mana. Potion of Mana does translate into an unexpected Shockwave, especially now that you see the Tauren Chieftain just sitting right there. There goes another Chain Lightning. Beautifully done as the Farseer picks off a level 5 Archmage. Get level 6 on the Tauren Chieftain, and that Tauren Chieftain can just go very, very deep, not care, as it will come back to life, and that is going to be the GG. Focus taking out Blade in this matchup with the superior hero score. And, well, just playing a great game altogether. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys are watching on YouTube, well, click on another video. I literally have thousands of them. If you guys are watching on Twitch, well, stay tuned.